This is every major tank, Germany, the Allies, and the Axis, fielded in staggering wartime quantities. This is the complete catalogue of WWII's most produced armour. Let's start with the backbones. The T-34-76 ripped open the Eastern Front in 1941 with sloped armour that made German shells bounce like chalk off steel. Its 76.2mm gun and Christie suspension gave it shocking speed across Soviet terrain, while the reliable diesel engine kept running through winters that killed everything else. The T-34-85 followed with an 85mm gun in a larger turret, finally matching late-war German armour threats. Crews praised its mechanical simplicity. Wide tracks, minimal maintenance, brutal effectiveness. Museum curators point to its welded hull as proof that practicality, not perfection, wins industrial wars. Over 84,000 built between both variants made it the most produced tank in history. The Panzer IV began as a 75mm support tank in 1939 and evolved into Germany's backbone medium through constant upgrades. Its AOSF-H variant carried the deadly long-barreled 75mm L-48, giving crews reliable high-velocity firepower at any engagement range. From North African desert photographs to frozen Eastern Front diaries, the Panzer IV appears everywhere. Germany's most successful mass-production tank with over 8,500 built. Crews appreciated its proven reliability even as heavier tanks grabbed headlines. Late war versions added spaced armour and protective skirts, but the basic chassis stayed consistent. Engineers called it the workhorse that never stopped working. The M4 Sherman combined a 75mm gun, gasoline engine, and near-perfect logistical uniformity into America's universal medium tank. Crews loved its mechanical reliability, hated its tendency to catch fire when penetrated, and respected its endless modification potential. Over 49,000 produced made it the Western Allies' most common armoured vehicle. From Italian hillsides to Pacific jungles, Sherman combat photographs fill entire archives. Its real strength wasn't armour or firepower, it was availability. When one Sherman died, two more appeared. British crews called it dependable. German crews called it numerous. Either way, it shaped every theatre it entered. The Stug 3 assault gun, built on the Panzer III chassis, became Germany's most numerous armoured vehicle with over 10,500 produced. Its low-profile design and 75mm L-48 gun turned it into a deadly tank destroyer that ambushed Soviet armour from tree lines. Soviet memoirs call it the grey wall that hid until too late. The Stug IR-4 mirrored the concept using Panzer IV components, filling production gaps after Allied bombing raids hit factories. Crews loved the reduced silhouette. Commanders loved the cost savings. No turret meant simpler manufacturing and faster deployment, turning support vehicles into frontline killers. American tank destroyer doctrine produced three significant variants. The M10 paired an open-top turret with a 76mm gun, crude but effective in ambush roles. The M18 Hellcat achieved 55mm, making it the fastest tracked combat vehicle of the war. Crews remember wind screaming through the open turret during high-speed flanking runs. The M36 Jackson added a 90mm gun that finally gave American forces a reliable Panther killer. All three emphasized mobility over protection, accepting vulnerability for the speed to choose engagement ranges. Tank destroyer battalions praised their flexibility even while cursing their exposure to artillery. The KV-1 heavy tank lumbered across early war battlefields as a near-impenetrable fortress. German photographs show shells stuck harmlessly in its thick armour, unable to penetrate. Its 76.2mm gun and massive weight made it formidable but slow. The IS-2 followed with a 122mm cannon that fired rounds the size of a man's arm, obliterating bunkers and German heavy tanks alike. Crews adored its devastating firepower, but cursed the painfully slow reload, only 2 to 3 rounds per minute. Both tanks prioritized breakthrough power over speed, creating mobile strongpoints that Soviet infantry could follow through German defensive lines. Germany's late-war desperation produced fascinating experiments. The Panther Ausf F planned to mount the narrow Schmollturm turret for improved accuracy, but only prototypes reached completion before war's end. The Tiger II Königstiger wielded the legendary 88 Mainz KWK-43, one of the deadliest tank guns ever mounted, but suffered constant mechanical breakdowns. Crews noted its kingdom of headaches, with transmission failures and impossible fuel consumption. Paper designs for the E-series showed Germany's dream of standardized modular tank families. Brilliant engineering met impossible logistics, creating machines too complex for a collapsing industrial base. Sherman variants filled specialized roles the base model couldn't handle. The Firefly mounted the British 17-pounder gun, giving the Sherman real armor-killing capability. German tank commanders were ordered to identify and destroy Fireflies first. The Sherman Calliope added rocket launchers above the turret, filling battlefields with shrieking salvos. The M4A3E2 Jumbo added absurdly thick armor for breakthrough operations, sacrificing speed for survivability. Each variant proved that adaptability mattered more than original design. British crews preferred Fireflies. Infantry supported by Calliopes called them the Screaming Angels. Versatility became the Sherman's true superpower. Light tanks filled reconnaissance and exploitation roles across all armies. The M3 M5 Stuart earned the nickname Honey from British crews for its reliable, cheerful performance. Fast and agile, it excelled at scouting, but struggled against heavier armor. The German Panzer II, originally a training stopgap, saw extended frontline use due to chronic shortages. Its 20mm gun aged poorly against Soviet armor. The Soviet T-70, cramped but zippy, served as a scout with thin armor and a punchy 45mm gun. All three proved that speed and reliability often mattered more than firepower in fluid battlefield conditions. Self-propelled artillery brought mobile firepower to mechanized warfare. Germany's Vesper mounted a 105mm howitzer on a Panzer II chassis, beloved by artillerymen for its mechanical reliability and tactical flexibility. The Hummel packed a massive 150mm gun into a lumbering chassis that struggled on rough terrain but devastated targets at range. The Soviet Su-76, simple and open-topped, earned praise from Soviet infantry as the little friend with the big voice. Cheap to build, easy to maintain, effective at direct fire support. All three proved that putting big guns on tank chassis changed battlefield dynamics, even if armor protection suffered.